when the United States executes the death penalty, the death row inmate needs to walk through a corridor from the cell to the electric chair. In order to appease the mood of the death row inmate, this corridor was painted green. When the death row inmate sits on the electric chair, the prison guard will put a black hood on the head of the death row inmate. After that, the prison guard will first wet the sponge, then shave the hair on the top of the death row inmate's head, and then put the wet sponge on the head of the death row inmate. This ensures that when the electric shock is carried out, the current can go directly to their brains, so that the death row inmate can die less painfully. But this day, a new prison guard who came in from the backstage was seen by a death row inmate just because of his timid behavior. When he was executing the death penalty, he deliberately did not wet the sponge and put it on the prisoner's head, and other assisting prison guards did not notice his little action. Until the moment before the death penalty was about to be executed, the captain saw that there was no sign of the water in the bucket being used, and he wanted to stop it, but it was too late. The moment the electric shock switch was turned on, the prisoner struggled violently in pain, and his body began to catch fire, but he did not die. However, if the power supply was forcibly cut off at this time, the prisoner would only suffer more terrible pain. The people watching the execution below the stage also smelled the smell of burning. Seeing this horrible scene, they all stood up and ran away. The prison guard who did not hold Master Sponge was also frightened and dared not watch, but the captain forcibly held him down and made him watch the consequences of his bad behavior. After suffering severe torture, the prisoner finally ended his life, and afterwards, this vicious prison guard with a backstage was only transferred from his post.